Hey guys, welcome. I'm Kirsten Johnson and I am making this to you from Bali, Indonesia. Hope you're having a beautiful day. I wanted to get into how to quit smoking. The way that I experienced quitting smoking was every time I had a feeling I wanted a cigarette. So smoking was a way that I didn't have to look at my feelings. And when I quit smoking cigarettes, which was actually this month, 8 years ago, when I was 6 months sober, I remember that I'd get angry and want a cigarette. I'd get happy and want a cigarette. I'd have some sort of emotion, and I would think in my head, cigarette, and because I wasn't smoking, I could actually pause and realize that I had a feeling that I didn't want to feel. It wasn't actually mostly the positive feelings. It was boredom, loneliness, anger, anxiety, just sadness. So any emotion that I didn't want to feel was my brain saying, let's smoke a cigarette. So let's blow my mind on demand so that I don't have to feel my feeling. So when it comes to quitting smoking, I think what you, if you're watching this video, can get interested in is learning how to feel. Learning how to actually be a human, learning how to embrace your humanity, learning how to accept that you are a human who is going to have all of the emotions, and if you don't want to breathe poison, suck on smoke, then getting into learning how to feel. So the way that we do this is we drop our attention out of our thoughts. So boom, I want a cigarette, and you're trying to quit. So boom, I want a cigarette. And then instead of picking one up, even if you're going to pick one up, even if you're going to smoke, put this before your cigarette, because we might not have the power over not picking it up in that moment. We might feel powerless, but we can always put something between the action that we're trying to give up. I always think it's better to add something than to just take something away. So instead of saying don't smoke, say do mindfulness before you pick up the cigarette. Do mindfulness before you eat the sugar. Do mindfulness before whatever it is, the action that you don't want to take, so that you can start to interrupt that pattern. So what we do is we take our attention out of our thoughts, out of the feeling, and we drop our attention into our body. So we notice the feeling. We notice that if it's anger, usually it's in the chest, right? So you notice what you're feeling in your chest. You notice what you're feeling in your hands and your arms and your belly. And just become aware of your feelings. So drop your attention out of your thinking completely and dive it down into your body. Mindfulness, learning how to feel. And what I noticed is that I think it was like the first 2 years after I quit smoking cigarettes that I would, boom, have a feeling I didn't want to feel, and then I'd think in my head, I want a cigarette. When really what was happening was it was like wired in that way. It was more like, I don't want to feel this, but my brain would go, smoke. And so the first 2 years of not smoking, I would notice I'd have a feeling I didn't want to feel, have the desire for a cigarette, and then I'd sit with that feeling for like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and it would blow through me, and I wouldn't smoke. So that's it. Get really into feeling, and actually it's a really empowered way to live, embracing your humanity, owning your humanity, being willing to feel all the feelings, because if you're willing to feel your fear, then that's courage if you're taking action in the direction of your goals and your dreams. So getting into emotional intelligence, being able to manage your emotions from an empowered state is a really good way to go. So cheers to you. Remember, put the mindfulness before you pick up the cigarette, and have a beautiful day. All right, bye guys.